Welcome to Mystery Crime Files. Now listen closely. This is an experiment. For 3 years, I created over 200 true crime stories, and I never uploaded them. Until now. You're watching something I made years ago. At the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. Some of these stories are rough. Some I still think about at night. Whether you want 1 a week, 2 a week, or 3, that's up to you. But if you ever want me to drop a story that is from right now, in the future, or present, to see how I have evolved in storytelling, well, it's simple. Get this video to 1,000 likes. And remember, right now, you're watching me from the past.
Now, if you've seen the movie Halloween with Michael Myers, you might wonder if that movie is real, or at least if it's based on true events or if it's totally fake. Now, for the longest time, a lot of people thought it was just a Hollywood story. Now, that is until we realized that the movie took inspirations from a certain person in the 1920s. The serial killer's real name was Stanley Steers, and much of his original killing spree took place in 1920s Iowa rather than 1970s Illinois, like in the movie. So yes, everybody get your popcorn out for this one because we are about to go over the real Michael Myers. Now, as a child, Stanley Steers was abused by his parents, who were usually both intoxicated on alcohol. And some claim this is because they found out he was not their biological child. You see, it's sinister. Their real child was taken home by another couple, and all three died in a car crash on the way home from the hospital. And it was found out later that a malevolent nurse would switch babies around in the nursery just for kicks. That nurse was in jail for a bit of time, but once she got out, she was later killed. Now, Stan's abusive adopted parents had another baby, and it was a girl named Susie, who they treated the exact opposite of Stan. I mean, they treated her as if she was a princess, and she later became even abusive towards Stanley as well. So, on the day before Halloween in 1923, 11-year-old Stanley was told once again he would not be allowed to go out and trick-or-treat on this Halloween. In fact, he was never allowed to go trick-or-treating on Halloween. Only his sister was. And after his sister got home from a Halloween party, Stanley couldn't take it anymore. And at midnight, he finally just snapped. I mean, imagine for 11 straight years your parents just constantly abuse you because some nurse's horrible decision to switch babies at birth. I mean, that was not Stanley's fault, and you would think that normal, loving parents would understand this, but no. They hated him, but loved his sister. It's understandable why he snapped, but to the extent that he did snap, that may never be fully comprehended. And when I say snapped, this is what I mean. He went to the kitchen where he probably saw on the table all of his sister's candy, and then he promptly took a butcher's knife, took it off the table, and then started walking. Once he took that knife, he legitimately, like a slasher film, killed everyone in the house, whether it was his parents, his sister, even including the family dog, Mr. Snookers. Very sad. I mean, at this part in the story, I absolutely feel the tragedy of the people dying, but when I hear about an animal dying, it just infuriates me. And the only reason I can think of why he would kill Mr. Snookers is because he was known around the neighborhood to possibly terrorize neighbors. That's all I got from what I read. But either way, the imagery of an 11-year-old killing his entire family along with his dog literally made my jaw drop, as I'm sure it's making yours right now. Then right after that, Stanley took a break, probably just enjoying the Halloween fall day, but When night approached, he decided to go trick-or-treating for the very first time. Now, this seems innocent enough, but during trick-or-treating, he continued his onslaught by killing a number of his bullying classmates, some that were much older and bigger than him as well. And even in one instance, he invaded the home of a classmate, taking out their entire family single-handedly. Remember, this is an 11-year-old. And the ones who did survive say that he had superhuman strength as he tossed full-grown men around like rag dolls before impaling them with his big butcher's knife. Now, this is a true story, and as you can probably tell, it inspired the movie Halloween. Nobody knows if Stan truly possessed evil demonic powers beyond any human, but for an 11-year-old to create all this carnage, it might seem so. Now, Stan was captured at sunrise the next day when he was found gleefully eating candy on a swing at the school playground, just having the time of his life. So federal agents, they swooped in real quick and they took him to a secret mental institution for further study while suppressing all records of the Halloween night events. The government wanted to figure out what could cause a kid to commit such heinous acts. I mean, plenty of kids had been horrifically abused, but none had done anything remotely like Stanley did at that time. Now, for 13 years, they looked into what made him tick, what truly made him a monster, and demonic possession was actually immediately ruled out. After being a paranormal lab rat, there was no evidence of the supernatural. Then, on Halloween night, 1936, at the age of 24, he snapped again when some orderlies decided to harass him. And he repaid their annoying antics by snapping their necks. Now at 6'4", weighing in at 260 pounds, his supernatural strength made a little more sense. However, now his strength was even more phenomenal, and culminating in the fact that when he was trying to escape, he got down to the parking lot when multiple agents opened fire on him and hit him with multiple bullets. And at that point, Stan lifted a car over his head to get to the agents, and then he killed them as well. I know this seems like total fiction. Guys, it's not. This was a real story. Why it was buried so deep, I don't know. I'm just glad I was able to get this out to you, so keep listening. Now, like I said, this story might seem made up, but it's not. And the extremely disturbing part is that Stanley was never recaptured. And reports of his continued murders still pop up across the country. I mean, there was one as recently as Halloween 2013 in Mexico City. Stiers apparently will only travel on foot, and all of his slayings have been on North American soil. Clearly, at age 102, he should not be able to be such a hellish killing machine. And once again, this indicates that he might possess the strength of the devil himself, or at minimum be immortal if the fact that nobody can kill him wasn't evidence enough already. Oh, and remember how I said the nurse that switched him out at birth for another baby was put in jail and then killed? Well, she was actually released from jail and then killed by Stanley. Now, government agents of the U.S. Paranormal Defense Agency have been pursuing him since their inception in the late 70s. They consider him number 9 on their 10 most wanted list of all time. Amongst the other names are some like Halloween Queen Shala, Sorcerer Dimitri Diablo, and then one other one that's number 1, but I can't tell you that because we actually got a story of that coming soon. And the government also said that Stanley is not any type of supernatural being that they could identify. Now, some believe that his mind descended so far into the depths of dark, deranged despair that his subconscious cut his mind off from his higher dimensional soul. I know, guys, we're getting really deep right now. I mean, there is actually evidence that the subconscious connection to one's soul acts as a control mechanism so humans aren't able to access the full potential of mind over matter. Now, mind over matter comes from our sentient minds interacting with the pure thought matrix of our reality. And I'm sorry if this is confusing you. I just really get into this stuff and I wanted to know everything about this case. And with Stanley, free of this constraint, he can carry forth his mindless mission of Halloween killing sprees for all eternity as he wills his body to survive every attack, including the aging process, kinda like Michael Myers himself. Now, it's unknown where he is for the other 364 days of the year. That fact alone is horrifying. Now, it has also been suggested that he might believe he only has super serial killing powers on Halloween, and therefore doesn't attempt anything on any other days. He may very well just lie in bed or lay dormant for most of the year. Or he could be the guy you see tomorrow morning when you wake up. Now, various psychics, mystics, seers, and others with second sight can only get a general fix on him on Halloween. And the rest of the year, he's somehow mysteriously, mystically cloaked. I mean, this is one reason the government has been unable to capture him thus far. Now, mystic investigations had heard rumors about Stanley Steers for years, but didn't know the full extent of his story until their investigation. And they say that if they were able to run into him now, that they are confident that they could capture him and contain him, perhaps even reconnect his soul to his mind, then utilize paranormal psychological techniques to bring back his sanity and humanity. Now, some of that even sounds way far-fetched for me, and I kind of like conspiracies, but, I mean, it was written down, and I'm just reading it. So, I want you to think about that, too. And I do not want you to be scared, but if this Stanley Steers person is still alive, just remember Halloween is coming up, so it's better to be careful than not.